Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and we take junk and turn it into home decor that we sell in our shop at JamieRayVintage.com or here in our retail store in Lehi, Utah. Today is a big project day.
Yeah.
Zeb has this, we're going to call it a knack for buying things that he never intends to figure out time for. Like, we're really busy.
I don't ever intend to not do it.
Well, we're really busy. So like, yes, we don't have time for it. But like, sometimes I multitask. And like the other day with that little green table, like he just never quite gets them done. Like, we have to get these things done because they're in the garage.
I never multitask, usually because I'm not here.
I feel like we're making excuses this morning.
There are a lot of excuses.
So
anyway, we've got some big clocks.
We got these clocks. We got this clock and this mirror. I think they were each $10.
Look how big this is.
That's been in the garage for a hot minute. Maybe you remember when we bought it. But I told Zeb, like, we either have to find time to paint them or we have to stop buying them. Which is, I feel like maybe something you guys can relate to. You have grand plans to get things done. And we have we're good at getting small stuff out. Like, I feel like we could bang out 50 small projects in a couple of days. But bigger projects take up more space that we just don't have. So we put it off. Do you guys ever do that?
Did we even show this? I don't even remember if we showed
this.
It
was in a video. I can't really lift it up because the mirror is going to fall out and I don't need 7 years of bad luck. If you want to see the products that we're using, you can go to JamieRayVintage.com. We're going to be probably rapid firing lots of stuff. I'm going to be working on the clock.
So the goal,
Zeb's going to work on the mirror.
The theme of the last few weeks is, can you get high-end home decor from the thrift store or turn something that's inexpensive, like this mirror with the cubbies was $10.
Can we turn into something that's worth
the back is breaking out of it. I got to repair that. This clock was $15. So
yesterday we did all those prints.
We got the high-end theme for the thrift store prices, and they're probably okay as is. This one has a couple chinks and dings in it, and this one needs a new paint job for sure. But this here, also the mirror's falling out of it, and that's probably why it was $10 at the thrift store. I
want to show you guys this. I just finished this real quickly this morning. I don't know if you can see all the detail in it. It's kind of, but it's
not going to focus.
A cheap plastic mirror. In fact, Caitlin, hopefully you're listening. I broke the mirror on that. So when I get it finished, we'll have to show the customer that bought it. You need to tap the screen. There you go. We need to let's see if they still want it because I'm going to put some decoupage in it because I broke the mirror. But it's a cheap plastic mirror that when painted properly is given a more high-end look. Like, yes, if you pick it up, you can tell it's plastic. But once I get it decoupaged, somebody sees it, they're not going to know.
It's going to look more like
plaster. It's going to look antique as opposed to something that's brand new. And that's what we do here. I mean, isn't that like the name of the game? You got a high-end budget. Although I feel like some people don't know what high-end is. If you've never been in a bougie antique store with legit chippy old furniture, you ain't seen nothing yet. Go to Round Top and there are islands like this falling apart for $6,000.
Yes.
Like, that's high-end to me. Maybe not to everybody else, but to me. So let's see if we have any questions. Everybody's good. Shelly almost forgot about Waste Not Wednesday.
I know we've been doing so many lives lately that
like what day even is it?
Sneaking them in. There's another live coming tomorrow morning, and then Saturday. Like, we do edited videos Monday, but
Friday.
We didn't do a video Monday. Well, I guess we did, but it was from Kobe's.
Yeah, I put up in it. You forget that we did a video because I'm the one that edited it. But we did a video Monday and Friday. One of my favorite lives these days, though, is our Thursday lives, because I feel like Saturday you see the thrift haul. Monday or Tuesday you see like the painting of the thrift haul. We do that. Wednesday you see Waste Not Wednesday. But Thursday, anything that hasn't sold, you get to see how it looks in our shop, which kind of like completes that picture so people understand how it goes from our thrift store video that's like usually the Monday before to our thrift haul video. It's like a natural progression. So you kind of have to watch all the videos to see how it actually works. I don't know who has that kind of time, but we're putting the videos out. So as soon as Zeb is done unscrewing the back and removing the clock and the glass, I'm going to get started on this giant frame. Most of the time, people get overwhelmed by large clocks because they think, oh my gosh, how am I going to paint that all? But really, you just back it down to the basics. It's just a frame. Same thing with this giant mirror. The mirror takes up a large portion of it, and basically Zeb's just painting a frame. So it kind of demystifies it, like makes it a little bit more simple.
Yep.
The problem with these is they just take up so much space. So I'm hoping I can fit that on here. We'll see.
We'll get it on there for you. I'll scooch my stuff over.
Any of the finds you're making over already on the website? This is not, and I do not believe that clock is either. The clock I'm not even positive that that'll make it up on the website because honestly, I think I'd have to charge like $400 for it. So maybe I'll put it on there. Because it's just going to be, it's huge. It's going to cost a lot to ship.
Well, so what are your plans with it? Are you going to do like a kind of like a Gustavian finish?
I was thinking Gustavian because Debbie Beard had asked me, she's like, what is Gustavian? I tried to explain it to her and she like didn't quite get it.
It's a mystery. It's a mystical paint finish.
It's
really just a bunch of light watered down layers of paint over and over again. And it just blends to make this awesome aged
look. It also makes a giant mess. So good thing our kitchen's already messy. Like literally for 2 days, we've been painting stuff. And
Jamie's about had it. Her eye twitch is in full force.
Because of so many thrift hauls. What, did you break that?
Well, it had a little hanger for a smaller clock. I'm trying to use it. The plastic is busted. That's not important. I'm trying to get this out without getting crazy.
That's not important. Don't worry, people.
It's not.
It's actually not because it hangs on those big hooks.
Yeah, it has some it's way too heavy to hang off that little plastic thing. It's got some
So you did it a favor so nobody ever accidentally like.
Because it had a little eye hook. I thought maybe I can just pull this out, but it's way too heavy for it. There we go.
There's the clock.
Okay, clock mechanism out.
We're going to separate that, and then hopefully glass is not glued in.
It's got a rubber seal here that looks like it's nailed in. So give me just a few more seconds. We like to show the process so that you guys can
that's going to be a process. Okay, well, what can I do to help you with this while you do, that? Let's get some paint slapping.
You could start putting paint on this.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know what you want me to do. It's not my project. What are you doing with it? What was your plan?
So my plan was I was going to just crusty it up. Oh, this is wood.
Crusty it up. Well, first we need to get all the stuff out of the holes of the cubbies. Sorry, guys. Not very exciting here.
All right. So we're going to try to not break the glass on this high-end clock. It actually, usually this is a foam in here. I'm surprised that it's wood. It's like a strip of thin wood.
All right. Well, we're going to start with black paint.
I might not put this back in. We might just silicone it because silicone can be cut.
All right. So I'm getting started over here. I always like to have some sort of base coat. And this little black dress has gotten a little chunky on me. So we'll see if I can just kind of stipple it on here. What are you laughing about over there?
Nothing. I will keep it to myself.
Okay. It's not.
My comment was sometimes you just got to get a bigger little black dress.
Because it gets a little chunky. You're funny. All right. I showed Debbie this technique on how to stipple. And if you don't want the full salt wash finish, it is a great way to add some texture. You cannot do it with every paint because regular paint's not thick enough. But DIY paint is definitely thick enough to stipple on. So little black dress is going to go on here first.
All right, now there's a bunch of nails poking out in here. This is more than I thought it was going to be. I like to do these on camera so that you guys can see what it takes to actually do the project. Sometimes we do some prep, but you know.
I washed paintbrushes for like an hour because we used like every color under the sun yesterday to work on thrift flips. And I have more thrift flips to do today. Trying to get it all finished.
We're like 2/3 of the way done, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe 3/4. A lot of it just needs like some finish and sealer and some specialty waxes.
Rashonda says you have all the good jokes today.
The dad jokes are strong. Dad jokes are funny. I don't know if you guys know this, but dad jokes are like the epitome of sarcasm.
I don't know if they're funny, but they're funny.
They're funny. Dads love them.
I did sleep better last night than the night before. I did not wake up and watch a movie all morning like I did yesterday when I had a bad dream yesterday, and then I woke up and I was like, oh well, I guess.
Well, and
now that
last
I'm
night
awake.
she discovered that there was a third series or
Yeah.
a third movie to the series.
I guess people are asking what I watched. It's called All the Boys I've Loved Before, or something like that.
I think just all
It's
the
a
boys I've
total
loved.
teenage.
To all the
like-
boys I've loved.
Yeah,
She made me watch it.
and you liked it.
I'm going to be honest. It was very predictable, but Jamie likes predictable shows. She doesn't like to be surprised. She likes to browse her phone and have something on the TV that she doesn't really have to follow closely.
It was well done, and I like high school romances because we had a high school romance, so it reminds me of us in our younger years.
They had more drama than we did.
Laura says we've inspired her, but you cost me money buying products. Well, you gotta use the products, make some money, and buy more, or save money by not spending so much at the store. Either way, because not everybody that does projects is in the biz.
Yeah, sometimes you do your own projects.
So we want you to make money with it, so that way
to save money, or more than save money, because the paint and products that we're using aren't free. So sometimes the idea is just to get that perfect custom look that you want for your space.
Yeah, bougie
I
on a
feel like
budget.
that's more important than actually saving money. And the better you get and the faster you get, the more money you will save.
Or make money, buy more products, have more fun.
Yeah.
I was telling Debbie, I'm like, you got to sell the junk. Because when you sell the junk, have more fun, you get to buy more junk. All right.
Okay, this is ready.
I got a base coat that you can start drying on
So
there.
this
So
big
just a
old
stipple
clock,
black.
if you're just joining, this big old clock was
Careful, you just got black all
$15.
over your hands.
That's okay. And this cubby with the mirror was 10.
Oh, okay. I thought they were both 10.
Nope. All right, can you see that? I'm going to angle it down a little bit.
Every time you buy one of these projects, I say, I'm not going to paint it.
This is how I weasel you in. I'm like, let's do this
But
for Waste Not
here I am.
Wednesday.
I want to start with Sandy Blonde on that.
There
So
we
can
go.
you open this can for me?
Yes.
And then I will get going on Sandy Blonde. I think I'm going to do the same technique. I'm just going to stipple Sandy Blonde on here. Let me find a brush I want to stipple it with. This is a good one. The clock is stunning, though. Thank you. I think it is
It's
too.
gonna
It's
be
got a
really
really
cool.
great shape
It's
to
a
it.
little chipped up and dinged up. Like you wouldn't want to put it on your wall like that. I think it's probably MDF. They do a lot of things. They have molds where they just have the MDF base and they press this, so they don't even have to cut it.
I'm going to be here for a minute. Nope, I need salt wash. It needs salt wash.
Okay,
it's
I have
not
that
as
right
thick as
here.
I want it to be. What?
I have that right here.
I'll scoop
And
some.
I had a scoopy spoon somewhere that's right up there with your brushes.
Okay. The other paint was easier to stipple because it was old and we left the lid off. Pro tip.
So it was already dark. Now we've got a really dark base. I need to get the backer off of this, though, I think.
Is it bugging you? I don't think there's a problem leaving it on because you can put a mirror in front of it.
Well, it's just floppy.
Okay, that's fine.
So
All right,
a
so
couple
I'm adding-
screws.
Salt wash. Jamie, while you're using the salt wash, can you give some basics on it? Yeah, salt wash is a paint additive. You just pour it in your paint, mix it up 50-50 or whatever ratio you want, and use it for building texture. And I don't know what else. It looks like this when you stir it.
We also use
It
it to
dries
cover
rock
up
solid.
blemishes because it's so thick.
Yeah, if you want it to be like more crusty, you just layer it on. So like you can do layers of different colors of salt wash, or like stipple on a layer, stipple on another layer. I'm mixing this not quite 1-to-1 because I don't want it to be like super textured. So this is going to work well for me. And I'm just doing, you can do a brushing technique.
I prefer the brushing to stipple. I like the look better.
So the brush technique kind of makes it look like stone. And occasionally you can come in and stipple a little with a brush if you want. It's just a texture medium. That's all it is. But it does dry and make your paint stick even more. It is organic. No VOCs, but you don't want to breathe it in. So you don't want to stick your face by it. And if you are sensitive to stuff, you could wear a mask, I guess.
The powder.
You never want to breathe in powder, whether it's milk paint, salt wash, whatever.
Okay, I think that's enough stippling on this one. I'm going to heat gun. You already knocked this out for me. First coat done.
You're welcome.
It's thin enough. I should be able to heat gun this pretty quick because this is just paint. I don't have salt wash in the black.
Yeah. If you do use salt wash, it does take a little bit longer to dry. And I'm not going to get full coverage. I need a hair tie or something.
Look at that. And then we can get both projects in here.
I don't want full coverage because I want
getting...
some of that dark to come through. So I'm just kind of slapping it on there. We've been accused of paint slapping. And I'm like, you're welcome. Yeah, I sure am a paint slapper.
Like, go ahead and do that method. You'll love it. Well, and the idea with most paints, unless it's like a really fast drying, like enamel or something, get it on there, then you smooth it out.
So they said, can you mix salt wash with milk paint? Yeah. So what I've done with salt wash before is just taken the powdered milk paint and the powdered salt wash and then mix it up together to thicken it. Or you can mix up the milk paint and pour in the salt wash. I mean, whatever. You can really add it to just about any paint. That's the thing, is it's not like, I feel like it works great with DIY paint because DIY paint's already clay. And sometimes I use paint frosting if I just want it to be thick. I use salt wash when I want it to have more thick texture. And this color is sandy blonde. We've been out of it for a while, but I had Zeb grab me some sandy blonde today because I do love this shade. All right, I think I answered all the questions.
Well, the sandy blonde is a super good neutral. It works for a ton of applications as a base. You can even, we like the dark wax it.
Side.
I'm off over here. I don't want to. Here's my hands.
You're real close to my workspace. See, this is a problem with big projects.
We could have just done one. I could paint half and you could paint half and we could see if they match.
Oh, we have done that before. Remember that big shelf we did? I'm going to have to take this sweater off. It's getting warm in here.
Debbie says it's raining again in San Diego. She's like, I live in Washington now, in Seattle. I'm like, get some rain boots. It's time.
Yep. After we're done with this live, we're going to get over the names for the new paint finishes to Debbie, and then the warehouse is going to start working on producing them. Yeah,
she said that they're gonna hopefully hurry them out, so we should have them soon. And out to you guys and announce the colors and everything. The ones, we had 12 colors to pick from after I did some paint blending and mixing, and we landed on 3 that we're going to keep this time around. So
people keep asking which ones, but we're not going to tell you.
It's going to be a surprise.
Time for the release. You got to have a little bit of surprise. So I do have some salt wash left over if you want to add I maybe do it in the center in a few areas. So I mixed up a little more than I needed. The salt wash, if you put a lid on it and keep it airtight, you can keep it, as long as it's not with milk paint. Milk paint's another story, but with the DIY paint, it'll keep for a little bit. And we have so many, hold on, stop. I've got to get over here.
That was almost a heat gun catastrophe.
Yeah, please don't melt my eyelashes. All right. Everybody's talking about rain. The classroom space they can paint in is not ready. Was somebody asking why we paint our kitchen? Part of we paint our kitchen because it's so close to the snacks. I mean, clearly I eat snacks. All right, I got to get a hair tie. My hair is driving me crazy today. I can't do a big project like this.
Can't go on any longer. All right, so now I'm going to use that same mix she had here. I think she said she went a little thin, which is great. It's not that thin. You said this was thin.
What?
This is pretty thick.
Well, it's definitely thicker than you were. It wasn't as thick as it could be. I don't know. Maybe it's getting thicker.
Because you didn't mix the bottom in.
Oh, well, you could add water or add more paint. All right.
It's okay.
That's not my best bun. Actually, you guys want a messy bun tutorial? We can do that. I always get asked, like, how do you do your hair on top of your head? All right. I also, like, fair warning, I have a lot of hair, so it does help. But the biggest trick when you're doing a messy bun is to get it super high on your head. So many people do a messy bun and they don't do it high enough. So I try to get my hair, I go up from the ears, and that's where the pony should be. I gotta wait for paint to dry anyway, so messy bun tutorial. And it better with a brush, but sometimes you just gotta use your fingers. Okay, so now it's up nice and high. I learned this from being a cheer mom and a dance mom. And I use one hair tie, and I do not go all the way around. Like, I don't pull all the hair through. Probably not good for your hair, but I go around like 3 times. And then once I get it through, mostly, I just pull the hair out. I'm trying to use the camera to do it better, to do it in a mirror.
All right, so while she's doing that, I've got texture on texture because she stippled the paint, so I've got like some pouncy texture on here. And now I'm using the salt wash to just kind of I'm pretty much getting full coverage if I put it on.
I missed an entire piece, Seb.
You missed an entire piece of hair?
Yeah, I'll just shove it in the back.
No mirror tutorial. But now I'm getting like thick brush strokes with this. Not really building it up texture-wise. It's just gonna lay on there. When I go to paint it, I can do like some cross-hatching and get even more texture. It just all adds up.
All right, I'm gonna heat gun that now that my hair tutorial is over.
So we haven't used a whole lot of paint yet for these 2 pieces.
If I had used a mirror, I would not have missed the little piece of hair that's hanging down. But it's all right, it adds some texture. Okay, so this is gonna take me a while to dry. Next coat, did you say you got me some paint blue?
I did.
Okay.
Yep. So our projects, because she had a dark base underneath, they might turn out looking pretty similar. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So I'm just kind of pushing the paint on here and then going back over. Like, you'll see me every now and then I'll kind of dab at it and then I'm brushing it. That's because it's thick and you can't get very much on the end of the brush.
Heat gunning does help give it like crackle and texture. Are you gonna do full coverage with the sandy blonde?
Yeah, I'm gonna do like 3 or 4 different layers on here. We got time, I think. It's only 10-20-ish.
What is this color? We're using sandy blonde. It's very close to one of the new colors that we showed on Saturday for the cottage color line.
Yeah, one of the options. There was a couple light colored options. We did narrow it down. There was a definite favorite among the audience that was watching.
If you did not see, because if you watch that live, the color wasn't great because Debbie doesn't have great lighting at our house, but she had better internet. So we chose internet over lighting. And I did a reel and I did a short video. So if you go back and watch that, you can actually see the colors. If you just go through my feed, you can find the video, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. And I did it so that way you guys could see the colors in daylight, in natural light. What project are you guys working on? Anything fun? Is anybody painting while we're painting? We get that a lot, that when we go live, people just turn us on and work on their own projects. This color reminds me of a really light butterscotch. And it's going to get darker once we seal it. The clay paint dries lighter.
I had some texture left, so I'm just using this all up instead of wasting it.
Patience is working on signs. There's another piece of my hair. Why I had to pull my hair up.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in for you, so you can actually see this texture. We'll see what happens. It might just get dark. Okay, so there you can see it a little bit. You can see it's not smooth anymore. Oh, you can see it down there really well. And same on Jamie's. You can see the brush stroke texture there.
Well, I haven't heat gunned it, but when you heat gun it, you get crackle, which is nice. I think I'm just going to focus on heat gunning one side, and then hopefully the other side dries, because I'm not sure how far it might. I feel like my project might even be bigger than yours.
Yeah, you definitely have more surface to paint than me. All right, so the salt wash is gone. Now I'm just gonna paint inside of these
Cubbies?
with just regular sandy blonde.
Yeah, when I'm working on projects like this, if it's like inside a cubby, I don't worry about the same faux paint finish because it's inside a cubby. I usually will wait till I get to my last color and just throw that on the inside. All right, I'm just drying this mostly so that way it can air dry. Some of these areas are thick. The thicker you do your salt wash, the longer it takes to dry. But if you do it thick, then you do get crackle with the heat gun, which is nice. And you can get crackle in DIY paint. If you put it on thick and then heat gun it, it will crack. We have a video somewhere where we did that. I can't remember which one. That was many years ago. We did that one mirror. Remember?
Yeah.
You remember?
I remember. So I know we painted the hardware on these, and I know there's a lot of people that are probably cringing at the hardware painting. But keep in mind, most of that's going to get wiped off the hardware.
Keep in mind, we're professionals. Actually, if people look cringe, they might not still be watching.
The definition of professional is if you like make a living at it, right?
Okay.
It's our profession.
Thank you. Caitlin dropped the mirror link.
Oh, so the mirror is on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did a video. It was like lots of layers, and then we ended in white. Okay, where did we go with the paint blue? Oh, did you put that right there?
Oh,
Close
you need me to open it for you?
Yeah, and I need a cup. Sorry, Zeb has all the supplies over there. People are like, how come you don't have your supplies ready? Well, today we do, but it's all in a pile. And sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do.
Hang on, let me stir this for you. So with the cottage colors, very important. Look, you can see here, this is the top of the lid. You can see all the color variation in that lid. Very important that you go down to the bottom and stir. You can't just shake it. You got to stir the thicker pigments off the bottom. And that's going to make your paint, sealer, and color work the best together because this has got a built-in sealer in it.
Jackie says, I wonder if you guys imagine your life being this way 15 years ago. Okay, let's see. 15 years ago, Harrington was 5. No. I was painting and creating then.
15 years ago, we were living in Arizona. He was in kindergarten. He started kindergarten.
No, we were already in Utah.
He started kindergarten in Arizona.
But we finished it in Utah.
And finished kindergarten in Utah.
Yeah, we were already in Utah. We lived 15 years ago. We lived like 2 miles that way, so not very far.
So it thickens up quite a bit if you stir the bottom. Otherwise, you might open it up and you're like, oh, it's bluer than I thought and it's runnier. Well, now it almost looks like a creamy white.
I'm about to celebrate my 10-year anniversary with Jamie Ray Vintage on Facebook. Can you pass me a cup because I need water?
Yes.
But I didn't do a lot of things.
Yeah,
with
did
the
we
Facebook
officially
page.
start the LLC when you did that? I think we did.
No, the LLC started when you quit your job.
Yeah, we didn't make it official. You were just working from home.
All right, so I'm just.
I mean, we still work from home, but
yeah, more an official capacity. It was just a tax. You still had to pay taxes, no matter how you're set up. All right, so next color, we're doing paint blue.
And you're watering it down. You dip in your brush in water first.
I'm actually going to just be real lazy and just get the paint on here and then water it down a little bit.
So when you water it down, it does have a built-in sealer. Just know that that reduces the sealing properties quite a bit.
Anytime you alter paint, it's going to change it. If you add salt wash, it's going to change it. Like, it's not the same property. It's kind of like when you mix ingredients when you're cooking. A cookie is not the same as flour. I have a feeling this color is going to go on fairly fast because I'm just watering it down.
Well, and if you do it light and thin like that, it's going to dry quick too.
Not when the water puddles, but...
Okay, I'm going to swipe your heat gun because I'm going to do a similar thing, but I'm going to use a different color.
I'm almost ready for my heat gun back.
You're almost ready?
But that's okay. You can have it. We have to share here on the JRV. Your sandy blonde is drying already pretty good. So...
Well, I had it all warmed up.
If you're done with this black, we might want to put that one up. Are you done? Are you going to go back to black at all?
I don't think so. So we need to put a lid on that and get the brush in water.
Don't mind me.
Oh, you're going to get it in your hair though. Oh, that bun is too big.
The bun's too big? Well, I don't have enough space here.
Oh, camera changed. Hopefully it hasn't been like that too long for you guys.
Okay. Did I get the whole way around? I think I missed a spot.
So that brightened Jamie's up. You can see the contrast with the Haint blue. And it's a blue color, but on the sandy blonde thin like that, the sandy blondes coming through is just really brightening it up. And this is the Gustavian look, like thin washed out layers on top of thin washed out layers.
Paint on paint on paint on paint.
Yeah. It's not paint blending. You're not blending the paint. Each layer is dry.
You can a little bit, but yeah. Okay, so I'll let that dry. The next color is going to be Farm Fresh. And then, do we have the white wax out?
Yep, I got it right here. And there was a brush, the Zebra brush is what I was using. I think it's over there in your brush pile. You might have grabbed it.
Nope.
Oh, it's right here. That's all white waxed and ready to go.
All right, when you're done with that, I'll borrow the heat gun.
I just want to get it like on its way to being dry.
It's fine, I can share. I'm cleaning up my workspace because when you're doing a project this big, you have to clean it up or you start knocking crap over. If you dip your brush between your paint, your project water, another paint, product water, just know that you are contaminating your paint, and it is all natural, so it could smell or change the color or the consistency. So the best process is to pour it out. Use your paint that way.
Ooh, I got some crackle over here.
I don't care because I know what I'm doing, but I feel like I need to tell you guys so that way you don't say, well, this happens. You know. Don't forget, you need a heat gun over here. It's you kind of blend.
Yeah, I did. So what we're talking about, my black wasn't quite dry over here, and I got some blending down on this side instead of just putting a layer on the top, which is fine.
And I'm not sure where this is going to sit in the shop. So whatever your last paint color is, you need to paint the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the back painted.
Maybe not on the live video, but
I'll do it. I'll do the back. Don't worry. We'll get the back painted with whatever we finish with. I'm thinking I almost want to do like a couple hits of yellow and then cover them up with like a green or a blue color, like real light, not quite as light as you went. Maybe like a Farm Fresh.
Well, I'm going Farm Fresh next. So somebody asked what color this is. This is Haint Blue. It probably reads white, but it's Haint Blue, which is our cottage colors, watered way down to go across here.
Okay, I think I got that good enough. Trade. the heat gunning show. If you're at home, just let your paint dry. Go do some laundry or watch a TV show or whatever. Run an errand. Go grab lunch.
Cottage color can bubble. Usually I just work with it if that happens, but this is really going to sit down into the cracks here, which is going to be nice.
All right, guys. Queen bee on my project. Don't cringe. It'll be great.
I like Queen Bee.
We get a lot of comments. How come you never paint yellow or red? Or how come your paint line doesn't have yellow or red? We're actually trying to get those in the paint line, which is why we've got to really push this out and do good, or else we won't get the darker colors or the brighter colors.
So actually the look that I have now, just this tube tone, is pretty. You could just leave it as is.
Okay, so I've got a little tiny brush. I don't want a ton of this yellow, and I'm just gonna like hint a dry brush in a couple places. I want it to look more like it's worn off. Like this was a paint job for paint jobs ago.
It will, because we got some crackle in that first paint finish. This will set down in that, which is kind of fun too.
I actually kind of like this sandy blonde combo with the yellow. I know I'm weird. I like tan and orange and black together.
Remember that big organ mirror that I did a bunch of yellow on?
Mm-hmm.
The gal that bought it repainted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Fleology.
Oh.
It's all right because she paid real American money for it, so she can do what she wants with it. I thought it was just funny. She painted it to match her stuff. Paula.
Yeah.
They're gonna start doing some markets this summer.
They're fun, and I'm glad. So they were
last summer we never made it, so maybe this summer.
They were well. She's way down in Payson, which doesn't feel that far away until you got to deal with the traffic down there now.
Once I'm done with this layer, Zeb, can you zoom in so people can see?
Yeah.
What this looks like dry? Because it's actually not a bad look. Like I literally could just leave it here, clear wax it, and go. I'm chasing the water around in the cracks because it's kind of pulled up. Here, I'll come around front and dry that so that way we can get this in.
I'm trying to be random and not make this look like a cheetah, but I'm worried I'm getting
it's looking good.
A little bit of cheetah.
I feel like that's good as is.
Yeah, that's enough. I'm done there.
Sometimes you got to walk away. All right, let me get this dry in here.
Here, let me bring that down for him.
I really like this part in here where it's just, I love all the layers. When I'm like thrifting, I'm really just looking at the shape of something and how interesting that shape will be with paint on it. And this is definitely
the clock is amazing. When I saw it in the thrift store for $15, this is back to my projects I have good intentions on, but don't get to all the way.
I don't dispute the awesomeness.
Like I'm like, man, I can't pass that up, right? You have the same thing. We got a barn full of stuff.
I've been working on projects, and some of that stuff is yours.
Yeah, some of it is mine. We share. We share the projects. All right, this is so thin, it's pretty much dry, so I can go with my wash color. I'm almost thinking, what about like hang on, go with me here.
I'm chasing this water around in all the cracks. Sometimes you can blot it too, which I may have to do that because ain't nobody got time to sit here for 20 years and figure out the crack.
I'm thinking we need a little old 57 on here, and then I'm going to do a white over it and distress some of this back through. And I'm going to do the white as a wash, so some of it should show. I'm going to treat this just like the Queen Bee, just little hits of it. I'm even going to use the Queen Bee brush.
What? You're such a rebel.
I know.
I don't use that much, so it's okay. What are we going to have for brunch today?
I don't know. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. It's affecting me.
It's affecting me
I'm not
too.
as lively as I should
Like,
be.
I could really use a breakfast burrito about now. Okay, so Farm Fresh is coming on next. And again, my brush is still wet, so it's just coming on like a wash.
So
And I don't want full coverage because I love all the layers I have so far.
So in all honesty, I did not really have a plan on where I wanted this to go. I'm figuring this out kind of with you guys here. Like I had a general idea of how I wanted the paint finish to look, but didn't have like a solid, what color am I going to do today?
Well, that's how I approach most. Like, I feel like every piece is just slightly different. And you have to decide, okay, how am I going to attack this? And I feel like if you have a definitive plan, then it's hard because sometimes the piece doesn't want to do that. Like it doesn't cooperate with you. And that's why these lives are fun, because you can kind of see the creative process. Okay, so I'm liking that. I'm just going to Farm Fresh it around the edges a little bit.
Okay, let me get you a zoom in so you guys can see. You can still see all the layers. They're just starting to lay down on top of each other and richen up each other of the other ones.
Very soft, easy does it.
Lots of water.
Lots of water. Doesn't take a lot of paint, which is nice.
You painting through that.
What?
I got to heat gun this so I don't get blending. But I almost used the old 57 like a verdigris.
I have to paint through that because I told you these projects are giant.
So everywhere there's hardware, I made it look like it's like dripping down a little bit. And I could have even made that effect more if I'd have washed it, like added water, but I just kind of dry brushed it on here. So the trick with heat gunning, if you want to, like, if you do need to speed your process up, get a place warm, and then come back to it, get it warm, and the heat will dry it while you move on to another spot.
If I was taller, this would be easier. I just want to make sure I got all the way around and I don't have any weird spots.
Okay, that's dry enough for me.
So yours is looking good, Zeb.
It's looking like something, huh?
It's looking questionable.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm going to heat gun this. I'll let it cool, and then I'm going to start adding the white wax.
So question for you, is that clock face good enough to use?
Yeah, I'm not changing up the clock face.
So this is the clock face here that goes with that if you're just joining and didn't see the beginning of the video.
Can you convert a large framed mirror into a clock? Sure. Just put a new background, put a clock kit in it.
Yeah, clock kits are fairly inexpensive.
Buy a number stencil from JamieRayVintage.com.
Yeah, we have all kinds of fun different stencils
and
that would work with that.
Do it. We have some clock face stencils, but that would require it to be the same size. If you have the number kit, it works.
All right, I did a dip of the brush. This is the same brush Jamie was using to do her wash. So about 3/4 of an inch, pretty thick. And this is about an inch of water in here. And I'm just going to wash that out basically on the brush. I may add some more. Mine's going to get real drippy because it's vertical here.
It's kind of hard to see what this looks like on camera. So I'll have, when I'm done, I'll let Zeb show you. And then I'll try to do a little reel, some short form content with a lot of close-ups. I did a before, so that way I could do an after. Because that will give you the best idea of how this is done. And thank you for the new member. If you're a new member in Jamie Ray Vintage on YouTube, or if you're a JRV subscriber on Facebook, you get 2 extra lives. So next week we'll have another channel member live. And if you go to community, or if you're on Facebook and you go into the subscriber group that you get added to, then you can find the printables, because we do a printable every month that you can print 100 copies of.
People use them for all kinds of things. We had a bunch of comments, but once the projects were done, they didn't happen until the end of the video. What papers were your guys' favorite? Like, which ones stood
yesterday.
out that you're like, oh, I'm going to need those as soon as they start selling them?
Oh, and on YouTube, you do get a bird by your name.
Yeah.
I feel like YouTube's cool because you get a bird by your name, and Facebook is cool because then you have the group.
I think you get a badge for Facebook too.
And in the JRV subscriber group, I make sure that every time a new video comes up that I post it in there, and it kind of helps it from getting lost. So I feel like sometimes videos get lost in the algorithm. So all I'm doing right now is just drying this and pushing the paint in the cracks till it dries completely, because that's like the biggest thing. Printables, I'm not familiar with that. Printables is just something you can print.
I'll show you.
Cows. Vicky says she likes the cows. You can print on paper and decoupage it, put it in frames. People use it for paper crafting.
So this is a little different than what we've done, but we've done similar things to this in the past. Your printable is going to look a lot like this. We get 2 images every month that we do. Usually they're seasonal and go with the theme for what's going on depending on the time of the year. So like spring, summer, fall, Christmas time, winter.
You can blow them up too. They're usually high res.
Yeah, I try to do high res, but this is not one of them. I'm just showing you as an example of kind of the things you get. And we have them licensed. You can print out to up to 100 copies for your own use, or you can resell them if you need to in frames and stuff.
You can't resell the digital image itself, but you can print it.
The image you can't. You can print it out though.
You can print it out on canvas and sell prints, or you can use it for decoupage or put it in frames, whatever.
All right, I wanted this thicker, so I got another dip into that same water. So I want it to be a little more saturated.
The Vintage Farm.
The farm one. That was also one of my favorites. There's a few that we love that we're just going to do, but...
And the printable is just a digital image. Yeah, so it's on the computer, and then you print it out or do whatever. You can make it your background on your computer. You could do...
whatever.
What?
Or your phone.
Or your phone. You have to use the printable, you have to be at least computer savvy enough to download it and print it. But there are lots of videos. If you Google like how to download an image, it'll tell you. Sorry guys, you're just watching paint dry here. I got to get this all the way dry before I wax it. So this is going to be the longest drying process right now. And all these little cracks are great except for the paint sitting down in them. It's only 10:48, so I'll get mine all the way finished.
Mine will be pretty close. We'll need to wax it.
I think you need to distress yours a little.
But it's got to be dry.
All right,
well, I'm already, because this wash is so thin, I'm already getting back to some of the black.
And I'm going to wet distress mine here in a minute, very lightly. I'm getting some great Gustavian spotting. So a lot of times on Gustavian paint finish, you'll see like speckled splatters. And I'm getting that because Zeb is splattering my project, which is fine.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your
I'm
splatter
just helping
assist.
you with your faux technique.
If you're working in this close of a proximity, make sure that you're using colors that combine well, because whether you like it or not, you will get paint on each other's stuff. Dion always laughs that if she's near me, whatever I'm painting gets on her, and it is true. If you're a subscriber on Facebook, you just have to go to the JRV subscriber group, and you just scroll through and you'll see it. There's not that many posts.
That's where we also post the live stream links for the extra live streams every month.
For the washcloth. Oh, there it is. Your drying brings out the darker colors. Yeah, it does. I'm going to...
All right, let me bring it close.
Well, I don't know what this was sitting on.
It's it's hanging hardware.
Okay,
so it's looking a lot brighter on camera. Let me zoom in, and hopefully that'll deepen the colors up a little bit.
Well, you can kind of see where the texture from the salt wash is coming through now, and the paint's just kind of sitting in that, and I'm just pulling some of that dark original color through.
It's like because they can only see like a little arc of it. It looks like a faded, oh, we got super blurry. Hang on. It looks like a muted rainbow situation.
It's very cottagey. Very beachy. Oh, is Cooper on here? Hey, Cooper. Rashonda says you're so creative. All right, I'm almost done with this heat gun. Now that I've wet distressed it, I kind of pulled out some of that water that was down in the cracks. So
I guess I could put a coat of this wash on the back. That's really
going to be just going to slide right off.
I was going to say it's really sheeting off of here because
that finish is so slick.
It was like a slick, shiny.
You can't just wash over a shiny surface; it'll just sheet off. So that's why doing like a salt wash layer or a paint layer helps. Okay, so I'm going to come in with the white wax.
Some of it's staying on. It'll be fine.
I need. Shoot, I don't like using paper towels. All you eco-friendly people just look away because I'm going to have to use paper towel. That's what I got. All right, so I have to work in small sections. This will also seal it. I'll probably come back with some clear wax later just to make sure it's all the way sealed. And it does slightly change the colors. When I clear wax it, it will bring back some of the richness of the colors. You don't want to just white wax it and walk away, or else you're not going to be able to maneuver it. So let me see. I guess I'll work on this front part. I wish that it wasn't so washed out on camera.
Yeah, it's so bright. We'll have to get a good picture of it and put it all the places. The overcast day and the lighting in here is just making everything super bright.
I promise you there's texture and layers happening here. Like
and the white wax.
Yeah, the white wax.
See, what time is it? The kids changed this clock, so it's right on the right time now. It's not.
Oh, good, because it's
not
always
slow anymore.
Slow.
It was making us like 2-3 minutes late to everything.
It might have been. Was it Cooper who changed it?
I don't know. Whenever the daylight savings, whenever the daylight savings happened, the kids fixed it. Gotcha. And that happened while we were gone. So.
Zeb's an on-time guy, but he's been married to me for years. And I'm not like, some people are like chronically late. I'm just not going to lose my crap or ruin my day because I'm going to be 2 or 3 minutes late. I try to be on time. But if I can get an extra layer of paint on something, it's happening.
I think the difference between Jamie and I is I plan on being 10 minutes early and leaving in time for that. And she plans on being right on time. And if she's 2 or 3 minutes late, it's okay.
I'm usually early. And doctor's offices, close your ears. But if I'm going to be 5 minutes late to the doctor, but I can get like another coat of paint on something, I will, because I've waited hours for doctors before. So you're out of luck, friends. My time's important too. Every doctor is going to hear that and be like, don't do that. All right. Here, see the layers, how soft they are. All right. Melissa, you're in that group? Okay, just go through the posts. It's not been that long. Or search the word printable in the... Now, are you in the Jamie Ray Vintage group or JRV subscribers? Because the Jamie Ray Vintage group, it's not in there. It's in the JRV subscribers group. It's for the paid Facebook group. Okay. I love this. I'm gonna call it good. I'm gonna let it dry all the way. Did you grab some clear wax?
Yes, I grabbed a whole new.
Because clear
thing
wax
of it.
would help brighten this up.
Yep, where's my bag of goodies that I brought?
Your bag of goodies.
Well, I went shopping at the shop this morning. I brought back like 5 quarts of paint and some waxes and some sealers, some liquid patina.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Sorry, Zeb's been off camera the whole time, which is unfortunate because you're so good looking. The people want to see you.
People will be all right. Here, look.
Where's the... I don't see it.
I don't know. Is it over here in this pile of stuff? Yeah, it's right here.
The clear wax? Oh, there it is.
It's got the clear wax brush on it.
All right.
It's ready for you.
Maybe when I use this, it'll brighten it up. You're in the creative business group, or the creative business is different than the subscriber group?
Yeah.
Creative business is the one that you sign up for on the website. There's not printables in there.
Sorry, we have a lot of groups. It can be confusing.
Creative business is not printables. Creative business is where we talk about how to run your business. The printable group is different. It's $5 or $6 depending on where you live.
It used to be like $30 or whatever, and we dropped business coaching to $5 so people could be in both if they wanted to.
Not in 5. You dropped creative business to $25.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But yeah, no, there's no printables in the business. It's in the JRV subscribers group.
Okay, so I'm just wet distressing. I will also paint the bottom because this will be hung. So once we get, probably happen off camera, but once we get mostly done here, I'll paint that bottom.
So if you wanted to, you could add another layer and do some dark waxing, but I think I'm going to call it because I just want it to be really soft. And the camera doesn't pick this up. There's little pockets of color and circles of color where the salt wash was. And actually I got it to bubble a little bit. So we got a little bit of alligator texture on here, and it's just really good. So this clear wax will be the last step. And then this is done. Make sure when you wax something that you are committed to being finished, because you really don't want to paint over wax. I'm not saying I've never done it. I'm just saying you shouldn't.
So I'm going both ways with my distress. I'm going with the grain and against the grain because I don't want it to look streaky or cheetah-y. Some of this yellow's popping through. I am going to do, now that I've done this, I've lost some of my drippy wash, and I'm going to come back over and wash it because I went a little heavier on my distress than Jamie. So we're going to get one more wash on here.
I'll have Zeb get close. Oh, we got to paint the bottom of that too, because people are definitely going to see that.
Yeah, because it's meant to hang.
All right, I think it's all the way sealed now. That kind of smeared the white a little bit, so.
Okay.
Oops.
Let me get one more wash coat on here, and then I'll bring you close, and then we'll show you. I'll prop the mirror up and maybe drop the frame and that, and so you guys can see. So with these washes, I start at the top because I want it to run down.
Camera, it just looks so blah. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, push too hard. Yep, too much.
Too fresh. Paint's too fresh.
Don't push so hard. That's all right. I fixed it with white wax. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone now that I said that I'm gonna leave it alone. You could also come back with shipwrecked wax and add some more teal in there. All right, so Caitlin's kind of explaining the different groups. And while Zeb's doing that, I'll just explain it. So business coaching is just that. It's business coaching. It's billed through JamieRayVintage.com. It's $24.95 a month. That could change depending on your currency of where you live, but that's what American dollars is. And when you join that, you email the email address on the listing, you get added to the Facebook group, and it is just business coaching. Once a week, We go live. We talk about business coaching. We answer questions throughout the week. You have everybody in the group that helps like kind of pitch in, and we help each other's businesses. That's what that group is. Then we have the channel membership. It can vary between $5 and $7-ish on YouTube, depending on where you live, because YouTube charges that. You hit that join button on our page on YouTube, and you get the printable, which the link shows up in the community tab. And then you get 2 extra lives a month, and that will also show up in the community tab. Typically, those lives are Tuesday at 10, and we alternate every other week. So the next channel membership will be next Tuesday, 10 a.m. If you're on Facebook and you've joined the $5 paid group, it is the same as a YouTube group, except for it has a Facebook group called JRV subscribers, and automatically Facebook throws you in that group when you pay the $5 or whatever Facebook charges when you hit the join button for JRV subscribers. And what we do is we just post the link in that group so you can get those live videos the same way we post the link in community for YouTube. And then we also post the printables in that group for the $5 a month on Facebook, JRV subscribers. And on YouTube, we have the $5 a month that goes into the $5 a month. The printable goes on the community tab. So
I got
hopefully,
the camera to darken up enough.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to make that clear as mud. But if you have questions, you can email info@jamierayvintage.com, and Caitlin can explain it in a typed format. But essentially, that's the difference.
All right.
So there's, you can see mine next to Zeb's too.
They're pretty similar, but I've got a little bit more pops of color randomly. Like up here, you can see, oops, hold on.
And the Farm Fresh is darker in real life.
Up here, you can see a little bit of the yellow coming through. You can see right here underneath this hook where I had the old 57, and even right here, it's very faint. I told you it was washed. I just kind of dry brushed it. I told you it would wash out and not be super noticeable and bright. And there we have it. I don't know that mine's going to get white wax. We might finish it similar to Jamie's. We'll just see what it looks like. We might clear wax it first, and then if it needs white wax, we can always come back and add the white wax.
I don't think yours needs that. I think yours needs more like blue and...
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to let me prop the mirror in here real quick.
Do you want to put the
here, just hold it up, and
here?
I'll just hold it so they can see the whole...
This is easier said than done.
So that's going to look like that. And then
this is probably going to be in my shop. This will be about $200 for this clock. Online, it's probably going to be about $425 because it is ginormous and will take a huge box and probably at least 2 hours to package it to ship on top of the cost to ship it. So that would be included in that, because our website will charge shipping, but not enough. It's not set up to charge giant clock. I mean, look at like my head in relation to this clock. It's big. Same thing with Zeb's mirror. It's probably going to be somewhere in the $400 range on the website and a couple $100 in the shop, because mirrors and clocks always require extra effort. So if you guys like these projects and you want to buy the paint, go to jamierayvintage.com. And if you want to buy the projects, if you give us a day-ish to get them photographed and on the website, they'll be at jamierayvintage.com, and they'll be under the Saturday Thrift Haul and probably Home Decor. So.
All right, so not a super hard finish, just lots of really thin layers. If you want to try this out, the way Jamie and I start doing new finishes when we're like, okay, we want to really nail something down and nail our process down, we do it on small home decor. So if you're wanting to try it, maybe don't go grab your big, huge clock that's going to be on your wall. Get something smaller like that small mirror Jamie showed and practice on that. Perfect your technique, and then you go on the bigger piece of furniture or the huge armoire that your grandma gave you, whatever it is.
Definitely takes time. I mean, we do, I'm not kidding when I say combined, we do 20 to 50 little projects a week, and sometimes big furniture times 52 weeks a year. That's thousands of projects we've done over the last 8 to 10 years. So it takes a while to get confident in it. And even now, sometimes I do something and it surprises me the way that it looks. So
yeah,
it's fun. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Be sure to share this out, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY
and thrifting and all the other things. Bye, guys.